If we could have our school board candidates please come down and sit in chairs. If I have your attention, please. Hello and welcome to the Alburnett School Board Forum. I am Lars David, current president of the Alburnett chapter of NHS. Our chapter, it is our chapter's pleasure to host this year's School Board Forum. It is our mission as an NHS chapter to elevate our school's commitment to the values of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Helping and moderating this year's forum, I am joined by our member at large, Zach Cameron, and we will now introduce our candidates. So, our first candidate that I want to introduce is Jennifer Slight, all the way down there again. Then we have Terry Chostner, and then over here on this side, we have Jan Mabel. Jason Martin is out of town right now, he wishes to be here. And then we have Daniel Amaro, Melissa Menson, and Mary Barker. All right, our first question for tonight, Jan, we'll start with you here. What does being purple on purpose mean to you?
So I would say purple on purpose to me is living or representing yourself with deliberate manners, representing your family, your community, and just do everything for a reason. Because everything you do reflects on you, your family, and people are watching you. So I've experienced that in my professional career
Yeah, I would say similar. Just being intentional and doing everything that you do as a community member and as family members and parents of students that you act with intentionality and knowing where you're at and who you're representing and just being very purposeful and intentional.
For me, for one, purpose means that the staff, the administration, the school board, students, we have a choice about what school district we want our kids to be in, whether we go and enroll or whether we live in the district, but we all have a choice about being here at Alburnett, and we choose Alburnett, and we are proud to be here, and we are proud of the school district and everything it represents, and how it's become like a family to all of us.
Purple on Purpose to me revolves around community and family, because a lot of us care about this school. I mean, everyone that's here today obviously cares about the school because they want to come and hear what we have to say. And so it's a representation of the community of Alburnett and how everything around this area is centered around the school, and a lot of people around here want what's best for this school. So being purple on purpose has to do with the fact that we're here to make sure that the school is the way we want it to be.
So when I think about purpose, I kind of think about goal setting and the path that someone takes on their way to achieving their goal. And so then purpose kind of is what you find along the path. And as the children grow and those goals change, their purpose still develops, and it's kind of a wonderful thing to see where your path takes you as you develop your purpose.
Purple on Purpose to me represents character, leadership, and community. I think those are all characteristics that we see in our community district-wide. I think we see that it's what we hope to instill in our students, but it's also what's reflected in our broader community. I'm going to go along with what many of the others said too, the family involvement. This is a community that is very intentional about how they raise their children, how they invest themselves in the community, and what they expect from one another, and that's what Purple on Purpose means to me.
All right. So, our next question, what motivates you to become a school board member?
Well, I decided to be a candidate on the school board for a few reasons. Really though, just as a volunteer, when I found out that there were 3 open seats, and I'm a mother of 3 students in the district, I thought, I'm going to put my name in the running. I might have some value that I can add, just based on my professional experience. I have a lot to learn, but I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to put the time in to learn and just really help the board make the best decisions for the district. And I also have to give a shout out to Tiffany Griggs and her team because she made this, the whole public awareness campaign around this election is amazing. So hats off to her. And I'll stop talking.
why I decided to run for school board was I'm very passionate about education and Alburnett and the students. I just, since we've been here, I have got to know the teachers, the staff, the students, and I love these kids, and we're super happy to be here. And I feel like my experience, and I work for a bank, so my financial services background, and I used to homeschool, and I was the director of a homeschool group for 7 years, so I feel like I had 7 tutors under me. I had 64 kids that were in my care. I was in charge of the curriculum for them, making sure that that all went smoothly and ran well. And also, I just am passionate about the school board. I've been in most of the school board meetings, and I just really like what I see, and I just want to help continue that on.
So my desire to become a school board member started a long time ago, and I didn't even know it. My wife and I have been in the district since 2014. We have 4 sons. 2 have already gone through the school, and I currently have 2 in the district. And a couple of years ago, a lot of the craziness started happening around COVID time and everything, but also just in neighboring districts. It first started out where you would see stuff on the news that happened in some district in some faraway land, but then all of a sudden it started happening in districts nearby. I started attending the school board meetings just to kind of keep my eye on this school board to see if anything was going on, and they've done a wonderful job. I just continued to go because it was interesting. You learn about budgets and you learn about policy and things that were going on in the district. And then probably in May, I think Kayla announced she was not going to run. She said, "I want to give other people a chance to decide to run." And when you love something, you want to protect it. And I really, really love this district. Do we have flaws? Sure, we have flaws, but we all have our kids over here for a reason. Our district has a 41% open enrollment rate, so that means we're obviously doing something right. I want to protect it. I want to protect why it's purple on purpose here, why we all choose to have our children come. So when Kayla announced, I just kind of said, "Oh, yep, I think it's time." You know, we all help this community in some ways. Some volunteer, some coach, some become mayor, we got that thing. But that's how I want to remind you.
I'm doing it for the money. You know, we all have our motivations, and I guess I'm in a giving back mode. My children are grown up. We moved my youngest to Milwaukee on Saturday, so we're kind of doing that in a giving back phase. I have experience. There's some questions in here about particular experiences, but certainly we've done a lot of things in schools with our children, and I'm motivated to continue to use those experiences to be applied to whatever endeavors that the board is dealing with. And I'm sure many of them are the same, like, budgeting and fundraising, policy, community. And so having been involved in those things in the schools and in raising our children, and having the time to give back, I just want to offer those experiences to support members of Alburnett.
I have a lot of reasons why I want two of the people that I served on the school board with before are running this time. I think it's important to have a strong, cohesive board, and there are 3 positions open now, and all 3 are positions with members who serve multiple terms. And I think having experience on the board is critical, especially right now, and that segues into another reason I'm running, that is to make sure that public schools stay open, especially small schools like ours. Hot topic, I understand, but public schools have been chronically underfunded for over 15 years. Anybody who works for a school district will tell you that. There's only so far and so long the district can go on while that happens, and be able to continue to provide the education that we want our kids to have. So that's one of the primary reasons that I'm on board again, is to ensure the fiscal policy of our district, and to advocate legislatively for support for our districts. Also, my children, when kindergarten through their senior year here, we raised our children in this community, and I hope that my grandchildren will attend the school district too. I want to make sure that the district can continue to provide leading edge education and provide a small school feel. I think, it was already mentioned, we have a very significant open enroll rate, and that means that people like what they see here. And because Caleb is the only one on board, and I think we need to have a diverse representation of all of our voters. So, and I live on the west side of the district, so we need that representation too.
My desire to be on the school board is probably from my desire to serve. So I've been serving in some capacity since I was 17 years old when I joined the National Guard Army Reserve. I currently work for the Sheriff's Office. When I joined the board the first time, I just retired from the National Guard, and I wanted another opportunity to serve. And what better location than directly here, right in the basic kind of my community. I feel like a lot is bring to the table for my experiences with the organizations that I've been a part of. And I want to finish. I want to see through what we started when I was on the board, and ensure that we have plenty of opportunities for our children. I went to Syracuse, Washington, State School. Easy to get lost, but lots of opportunities. And I don't want the size of our school to determine what opportunities our children can have to be ready for their life, whether it's college, trades, whatever that may be, but for us to prepare them as much as possible.
All right, thank you. So our next question is actually asked by a community member. It is personally or professionally, how have you specifically supported teachers, coaches, and staff at Alburnett in the past?
We have 5 kids in the district, and I have 2 in high school, 1 in middle school, and 2 in elementary. And so, different ways that we have supported them would be, honestly, just if we see something great going on, like I can send an email to the teachers to encourage them, because I know they get a lot of emails that are, complaining about this or complaining about that, and I just genuinely try to be positive, and if there is something, I have an email a few things too that maybe I'm not as positive, but try to encourage them when I do that. My kids are involved in various sports, and we try to help, my husband and I both try to help out wherever we can. If they're down to coach and they need some help on the court or whatever it is, we just try to jump in and help out, seeing the need sort of situation. So, but yeah.
My children only recently started involving themselves in sports and activities, but I'd say one of the biggest places that I've helped out in that time, it would be in the now closed Troop 504, which Jan and Sons were a part of as well, Boy Scouts. My son Ty, he just graduated last year, and he got his Eagle Scout through that, and I was heavily involved in Troop 504 from the time he was little, along with Luke, it was very fun. I got to do a lot of stuff with my son, camping trips, helping out in the community. Just a good time.
So it's about Alburnett, right?
Yes, the community.
So, my kids did not go here. We moved here when they were finished up at Kennedy High School. We worked with staff at the high school and also at Harding and also at Mason. Even Little Lambs preschool when we first moved here. What I've noticed about educational staff in Iowa is that they're always receptive to their customer and the parents. And, I can remember talking to the principal at Nixon Elementary School about this seems kind of weird, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's one of my favorite author. We named our son Stephen after him, and we actually it was a popular program in corporations, and then we had opportunities in the elementary school, and it was like, well, these are character ethic principles, and we actually got involved with presenting, being able to apply the 7 habits to opportunities at the elementary school in a way that, principals and teachers, that's a very complicated role, and so we only had an idea, but they actually, were able to apply some of it to the students and shared it with their, I don't know how the hierarchy works, but the board, maybe the school board and the city directors. So I have always found that the communities here embrace character and solid ethics, and it's kind of a duet with the teachers and the students and the parents. So it's like a triad. They really do work together to, like Stephen Covey called feedback the lunch of champions. And so I think that as a community, we provide feedback and are involved in this process, but leave the implementation of it to the professionals in a very complex role. And so that's what I find to be the part that we play, and it seems to be everywhere in this wonderful state. It's been a great bunch of people to work with.
Can you ask me the question, Barb?
question was, personally or professionally, how have you specifically supported teachers, coaches, and staff at Alburnett in the past, if at all?
Initially for my kids, went from kindergarten to their senior years here, I volunteered in classrooms when they were in elementary school, served on the board, which, are there any teachers in the room who were teaching when I first started on the board? Oh, darn it. The morale at that time was incredibly low, and we worked very, very hard to ensure that that was one of the first priorities that we addressed, because we had some fantastic teachers here, and we wanted to keep them, and we knew how important that was. Any pom-poms in there? My girls are over there. What do you do back to school? There's just a variety of ways that our families have involved with the district and with the school.
There's several ways I get back to the community, school staff. I get involved in a lot, but if I'm available, I'm in help. Musical production last year, I helped group stuff to go to college. Archery, I got my license, coaching certification to help with make that program as successful as it is right now. Which can't happen without volunteers. As a previous school board member, there was some concerns from staff members, talk to students, and just kind of get an idea of what's going on. As a commander of the Chicago American Legion, we support the Veterans Day assembly with the color guard, and several years ago I was actually a speaker as well. So if there's a need and I can fill it, I'm volunteer.
I would say some words, stepping in and volunteering where I can and when I can. Just a couple of things that I have personally done is the School Improvement Advisory Committee, SIAC. I have been part of that in the past, which has been really good just to help the school improve there. Also, the Facilities Committee, before we started the new additions to the school and off the complex. And most recently, restarting the youth volleyball program. I have signed on to be the coordinator for that. So excited to do that so we can continue. And then, this is kind of small, but my husband and I kill weeds in town out at the foundation, and so just little things like that, but just being able to step in and help out where we can.
All right, next question. What current policies would you like to change / revise, such as dress code, substance abuse, behavior problems, etc.?
So, for those of you who don't know, we're actually in the middle, the board is currently in the middle of reviewing all those policies. And they had open discussion about them. And so a lot of them are currently under review. They've already put through the ones that are mandated by the state, and the administration is putting forward their recommendations for what they would like to see. The ones that I particularly would zero in on would probably revolve around bullying and more disciplinary type stuff to make sure that it's fair across the board. And also, in terms of policy or use of some stuff in the school is SIAC. We mentioned it on SIAC as well, but before SIAC seems to be just utilized as twice a year, which is mandated, but now Will is going to have it, his plans are to have it once a month. That way you can get a lot of feedback from the community members, the SIAC, which is School Improvement Advisory Committee, will meet way more often to be able to feed a lot more policy review or suggestions to the school board. So I'm happy to see that was one want that I was wanting to see. I'm happy to see that Bill's already implemented that.
So I was had it on my list to read all the policies before tonight, and then I opened them all up and saw that there were 400. So hopefully I can be in a position to comment on something that I haven't read in particular. So I'm going to pass on this question and just say that when it comes to reviewing policy, that these things take a little bit of time. They're generally good reasons that what is there. And so when I'm reviewing a policy, I like to learn about the history of the policy. And if, I'll stop. I take it seriously, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
I don't have any policies that are changed right now. I believe that policies should be changed as a reaction to a specific situation. If it's an ongoing issue, then it could possibly be placed under consideration, but because the policies are reviewed regularly, I think with input from the community, that of course should be considered, but like was mentioned, there's generally a good reason for a policy. One of the suggestions on here, behaviorally problematic students, there are laws that require certain policies to be in place, and it's not optional to change. So I think if a person's running on for the board to change a policy, they're probably going to be surprised that it's not as easy as they think.
I don't have a policy specifically in mind that I would want to change, but I think I want to use substance abuse and the behavioral and code of conduct realm. In my professional life, I have most advantage of seeing the investigations that are occurring in the county. Other schools, I'm able to see trends. Substance abuse is one of those, whether it's marijuana, THC, I've seen people's adult problems start in middle school and high school. So I think if we can address that early, if resources that families might need that they don't even know that are available to them in the community. Foundation 2 is a good example of that. I think that'd be well served for everyone to look at those and still get positive projects.
Yeah, I too don't have anything in particular that I would want to come in and change. I would want to educate myself as much as I could on current policy and really turn to fellow board members of what has been discussion in the past and what do we need to be taking into consideration, and then I will go back and do research and so that I can come to the table with a well-informed decision and a better understanding of all the policy.
Regarding the policies, as Dan said, the school board is currently reviewing policies. Some of them are required to be reviewed and read on an annual basis, and some of them are mandated by the state. And I would say, I don't have a specific one, but I would say that we need to consistently enforce the ones that are in place, where whether it's disciplinary, that we are consistent in a way that we enforce them with those students, and that way the kids can expect that a certain behavior will be handled in a certain way, and it's not one kid is treated this way, and another kid, well, we're going to let them off the hook. And I know you can't treat everybody the same, but it is a rule. I think that if we consistently enforce what's already in place, then that would be a great improvement.
All right, the next question for tonight is, what would you say are some strengths in our district that we can be proud of?
I'd say your intercom system at our football stadium. It's a nice strength. I'll go in the yard on Friday night. I can listen to the football game. And I hear kind of over here. There's must be some baseball practice area or something, or some outdoor physical ed class or something going on here, practice, and I can hear, and what you hear is a lot of enthusiasm and, a lot of cheering, and, what was the question? It was. Yeah, so I'm proud of that. And, it always feels good to be part of something positive. And, you can feel it in this community without even being in school. It's quite remarkable. And, the funny thing about that is we've been here 6 years, and, so that's year after year after year, and it's always the same, very positive effect, very positive school, positive children, and it comes from good parents and good community.
I think some of the strengths of the community can be seen by the people sitting in the audience right now. I think also, especially here in the Alburnett area, the community has opened up, expanded, and built a lot of new housing and brought new residents into the district. So I think we've got a pretty solid mix of historical families and new families coming in. I think that's not something that a lot of other small schools and small towns see. I think this district provides the best of both worlds, close to a metro area, but also the friendliness and community of a smaller district. We have residents in our community who are involved. They're involved in their kids' lives, they're involved in their extended families. We've looking around here, there are at least 2 or 3 families who've had multiple generations of their children go to Alburnett and graduate. And I'm also seeing a lot of faces I've never seen before, which means we've got new residents in the district. And I think that's the way you keep a small district thriving and growing. Gosh, I'm going to stop there.
I think one of the strengths the district has is, even though we're a smaller district, we're not afraid to try something new. The biggest takeaway I got when I was on board, and I loved it, was what's best for the kids? That was the question that was asked a lot. What's best for the kids? And that focus is, as a parent, was very heartwarming. New things we've done Iowa, new ways for kids to learn, to expand. Kirkwood is a big partner for us. My son might not make the hours of work he has every night, but it's expanding in its option as the new CTE. Someone wants to get into the trade for a farming community, we're a rural community as well. So the fact that we have FFA is awesome as well. So just so many opportunities, and you come to musical performance
not much different to say than what has been said. I think our biggest strength is yeah, we are a tight-knit community, you can feel it. We have amazing teachers and staff and administration. We have parents and who really care, and like John said, just wanting to do what's best for the students. And so we, being small, but also close to the bigger schools, I think just we're tight knit and we support each other and look out for each other and want everybody to succeed.
There's so much that the school district can be proud of. I would say just the way new families are welcomed in. So many, with open enrollment at 41%, as Dave was saying, that kids can come in and a week later, you don't even know who the new kids are. They just are welcomed in and they feel like they're a part of the family. And it truly is a family here at Alburnett. And it's just, it just makes me really proud of the way that that everyone treats each other and with kindness and respect. And I love that with sports, that any kid that wants to try any sport, they are on the team. And as they get older, maybe they won't be able to play, but I just think that it's just great to not have tryouts and that they can just immediately be a part of the team and practice. And the harder they work, the more opportunities that they have as well.
I would say three things come to mind. Volunteerism. I witness and I see a lot of people that volunteer in the community in many different ways, whether it's administration of fire department, being on the fire department, administration of the city, volunteering at the school, doing things around the community. So volunteer is important. Second is a legacy of the school as it is right now. So there's previous board members as well as administration that made decisions a while ago that have put our district in a good fiscal situation that it is right now. We all enjoy one of the lowest tax brackets in the state, which is great. And so there's a lot of good decisions beforehand that led to that, which is why a lot of us are running and continue to want to keep that legacy going. Third is something that only recently popped up in the last year, kind of goes beyond the point of trying new things, which is this new style of learning that's coming from Christine is very passionate about it. It's through junior achievement. I believe it's going to start next year with our 9th graders, but it's going to be really kind of just a new way of learning. It's Alburnett with children is one of only a handful of schools in the country to actually do it. So I'm really proud of and excited about that as well. All right. All right. Well, that's first on question tonight. Coming from this strong. If you were a cookie, what type of cookie would you eat and why?
I'm going to say Thin Men for obvious reasons.
I was on the phone with my son talking about Wisconsin license plates when I got this piece of paper. And it's like shit. And he said, give me a question. I said, if you were a cookie, what type would you be and why? He said, racing. I said, why? He said, because you're old. So I guess I'm going to go with that. And try to equate old and wisdom. But, yeah, I've been around long enough to have experienced enough things around schools and kids in life to be able to bring solid degree of, I won't call it leadership, but participation. And effectively done that with lots of groups in schools, and would like to have an opportunity to apply that here also.
Monster cookie. Who doesn't like monster cookie?
Well, I was using something similar, cookie with the little mini M&Ms, and because they're colorful and it just makes you happy. And I was gonna say not, but no reason, because those are deceptive. Who guys realize that they chocolate chip when it's not? So, anyways, all good.
I would be a fresh baked crumble cookie chocolate chip because, I mean, if you haven't had one, you need to go out and get one tomorrow. But they come and they are warm and they just make you feel good.
I would say Oreo. Oreo is versatile. You dip it in milk, you can put frosting on it, you can have so many different ways. So depending on your mood, it's how you use your Oreo.
Very, very good answers. Okay. What do you believe are the most important characteristics of an effective school board?
I would say communication and to tag on that, listen. You have to have good communication with the group, especially the leadership group. Listen to each other's opinions and ideas. You might not agree with the consensus when the topic is over, but I think you need to be able to respect the other opinions and viewpoints. And if the decision is made and you don't quite agree with it, I think you need to support that decision as a group and then move on to the next aspect.
Yeah, I would agree with that community, whether you support the decision or not, because at the end of the day, you are the school board as a whole and not just a single board member. And I think also just having more of that sort of 30,000-foot view and just keeping in mind how can we serve our students. If you have that in mind as a board, you're going to win every time.
I would say, like Jan said, being a good listener, not just listening, but listening to hear. Have you ever talked to someone and they are trying to interject as you are talking, or they're thinking of the next thing that they're going to say, instead of someone who really just listens and takes it in and is open-minded to new thoughts and new ideas, and also being trustworthy, knowing that you are in good hands, that you are going to be well taken care of. Your thoughts or ideas, they are all going to be in good hands, and that your ideas and your concerns will be considered.
I would say willing to take in all the facts, then push your personal biases aside and allow yourself to have your mind changed on something. You know, you could come into a situation thinking you already know the answer, but someone could come before the board and put a lot of effort into how they want to present to you. Give them their 3 to 5 minutes to present to you and allow your mind to be changed on something. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think those were pretty much everything I was going to say. Yeah, in my experience, those things apply to those groups that have that kind of authority to evaluate and participate in determining paths and outcomes for some goals, some success. I think when so when we do those things, we listen and change and grow. I've seen a synergy come from that, so synergy is one of the 7 habits. And it comes from the maturity continuum of having the maturity to be able to listen and to be able to be changed. And then what happens is there's an understanding in a community, and less gets said, and more of what said, more of what does get said matters, and gets listened to. And then you have the synergy. Synergy is like 1 plus 1 equals 3 or 5. And then you're in that creative mode where you do great things. So, and the synergy, the finance in these organizations, there's a lot of opportunity for the dollars apply to everything we do. And so it's fun because you can look at the money and then discuss the subject. And so that's what's kind of handy about money, is it's negotiable. So you can always, it applies to everything, so you can always start, to have these conversations around it. It's not about the money, but it's something that takes you into every one of the subjects. And so I find that managing the budgets effectively has also been one important aspect of being in groups like this.
I agree with everything that's been said. I think some other important characteristics of an effective school board is the willingness to collaborate and to remember that you operate as a board, not as an individual, but it is important to have a cohesive team of independent thinkers. Sometimes some really hard decisions have to be made, and board members don't always agree, and sometimes it's hard to come to a consensus. But it's also important to remember that we all get our gas at the same place, and we all see each other at floors or at a game or at a performance, and we still live together in community. I think it's important that there be a commitment to learning together. Once you're on board, there's a lot to know, and you don't learn that just by showing up at boards. There's the United Association of School Boards provides a lot of educational opportunities for board members, and I think that's important to take advantage of. But also, beyond what's important for the students, what's important for the school itself, what's important for the district, and legislative advocacy cannot be left off the table. That is a responsibility of every school board member, and I think of an effective and solid school board should be made of members who are willing to advocate for their district.
All right, so this is another community asked question. All right. Given the current climate where teachers are leaving the profession in droves, how do you feel the school board can help improve at Alburnett in aiding teacher retention?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is, I think, talking to the teachers and hearing directly from them about how they're feeling, what they're experiencing, and what would they need and want and desire and prefer to not leave and to stay and to thrive, and really taking that feedback and taking that into consideration. So I think just talking with the teachers and finding out where everyone would be the first place to start.
One of the things that came up at the school board this month, Mr. Dial has shared how they were in need of a tech teacher And that is really important for our school district to have someone in the town in the area. So basically, we can have someone possibly who is already here in the district and help them get that accreditation, and it helps further them. We can help pay for it, and then there's just a contract between us and that individual, but they need to stay in the school district or pay that back. It's a win-win for the district. We have someone filling our role, and we're helping our staff and our teachers be able to grow in their position. And I know we have paras who are also studying to become teachers as well, and just helping develop who we already have on staff and help them further in their careers will help us retain them, and it will also help offer to the students what they need as well.
Employee retention. It's not only a school problem as well as in the private sector as well. Kind of like how we have 41% of students coming to this district, we also have a lot of teachers that are here and want to be here and are staying here, so it's important to understand why. Of course, one would think money drives everything. Well, even in the private districts, when we have people that leave, a lot of feedback we're getting is not necessarily, if I was getting higher wage, I would say there's other soft things such as flexibility or just the culture. So they are doing a lot of good things here, and I would encourage them, the administration, to find out what those things are, continue to foster and push those things, and the things that is giving feedback for this is not good, to help put policies and more things in place to get rid of those things.
Yeah, let's see the kids. Let's see running with our kids. I don't, this is a complicated thing. I'd like to, I guess what I would do with that is try to apply it to like a applied management decision research tool. And what that entails is you formulate a question. So what this question is, what is the best way to do something, retention, something like that. And then you do a literature review, you read all the things that have already been done on that subject, kind of paraphrase and document those. And then like Mary said, do a primary data gathering, so some questionnaire thing or something, then you get that back and analyze that data. You actually use a approved method of analysis. It's not really yours. And that's gathering the primary data, original primary data, so you're not duplicating data that's already been done. That's what your review is for. Yes, and then by using the method of the predetermined method of analyzing the data, then it will lead you to the conclusion of the best way to do those things. So you'll end up with the right question, and then you'll end up with 3, 5, 6 different ways looking for the best way, and you go through that primary data analysis, and you'll conclude the best way. That's kind of how I approach that.
I think teacher retention is a much bigger issue than what's just happening locally. This is a nationwide issue. I think Mary Ann both has some excellent responses in terms when teachers are giving a message nationwide that what they're doing in our schools is somehow indoctrinating our children in something that's really, really bad, it's difficult to fight that. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep going back to legislative advocacy and support for our public schools. No money is the solution to all problems, but it would help us a lot. But also, we have to stop, not we necessarily, this isn't the people in this room, but when we know public schools are getting not, it's our job to stand up and say, that's not happening. This district is not indoctrinating children with something bad. Public schools in general are not indoctrinating students with things that are bad. We need to support public education, and that helps support our teachers. And they need to be paid what their value is, and they just don't, and they haven't for a very long time. And that's hard to do when we want to keep our taxes low and we continue to be underfunded.
As far as teacher retention, I think there's a couple things we can do. Private sector, government, they have clients where there's random questions. How do you feel about your bosses and the environment? And that's something, get an idea of what the temperature is with your staff. Exit interviews. Why are they leaving? Is it a money issue? Which, again, money doesn't solve everything, but is it something that's systematic that we can affect, that we can change? Again, it's just like Dan said, it's also in the public safety sector. And one thing I've learned from some of my training is the generation's motivation is different. They're looking for more of a life-work balance. When I joined, we wanted overtime, we wanted to work in basically when these talks about it. The people that we're hiring now just want to work 40 hours. So we have to understand the audience and try to tailor their environment as best as we can and retain the good ones. And sometimes people think it's not necessarily bad, but maybe they just aren't fit for your district. And sometimes that's positive, but if they are an asset, we need to do what we can.
Alright, there's 4 more questions left in this forum, and that is all we have for tonight. So, question asked by the community is, how do you view a board member's role in comparison to an administrator's role?
Actually, can you repeat that again?
How do you view a board member's role in comparison to an administrator's role?
Okay, let me think about this for a second. I would say that the board is there to support the administrators and we're more like the policy review and implementation, where the administrators are more on a day-to-day basis working with the staff, the teachers, the students, and we are there just to help support and to help make decisions for the district as a whole.
I would say checks and balances. So from a fiscal point, the board's there to approve a lot of fiscal decisions. We want to buy this bus. It's $70,000. You get another bid. Oh, we've been going with Uber forever. Well, why don't we go check out another one? Oh, this other one now sells for $60,000. Things of that nature. So there's a good check and balance because us as community taxpayers want to make sure that we're not just the administration isn't just some kind of cruise control and making decisions. That there's an overseer here to make sure that is this the right one? And then from a policy point of view, of making sure that from a check and balance that the administration actually for this student? Was it the same for this student? Was it the same for this student? If so, then either not why. You know, things of that nature. So I think there are 30,000 review of fiscal as well as policy.
So there's a code of ethics that is in the website. So the board members behave to a very high code of ethics. The reason I gathered for that is because the board member is one of the things that I think the main thing is representing the community. So the board members are the voice of the community, and we need to bring all of that voice to the administration. I think that's the main distinction, because in the administration, I listen to the school board meetings, and they are already deeply involved in all sorts of details of everything. It is quite remarkable. It's not because it's a small school, because there's actually the same number of details in a big school, and actually we have fewer people working on the same number of tasks. I think that even though that they're already doing that the administration has to execute, implement, these tasks every day, all of the administration. And so if we can be the voice of the people, it goes back to what these guys are saying about it's not one of our voices, it's your voices. We're kind of just kind of a conduit, right, to keep, and then the information should flow both ways. So I'm not sure if in the newsletter, if we can echo, well, the board meetings are public, so that's one way. Sometimes they're recorded. So the flow of information also has to go back out to the public from the board. And so I can see that being the key responsibility of the school board members in their support of the administration who's applying the policy on a day-to-day basis. Get feedback, get input from the community to the board, and the feedback from the administration and board back out to the community.
I would agree. Responsibility of the board is to represent the voice of the voting public financially and in policy, but also to represent the best interests of the district to the legislators. We're not administrators, we're not employees of the district. Board members do not get involved in personnel decisions or disciplinary decisions unless it reaches the most critical level. Otherwise, the responsibilities of the board member are financial and policy and advocating for the district.
So, piggyback on what Jennifer said, so the school board is responsible for setting the framework that the superintendent's operating. So that's the policy and that's the budget. And then basically, representing all the taxpayers, people that voted to put us in that position, board of directors, so we're directing the superintendent on how we like that district to operate. The only time we would be involved in a disciplinary issue is we're looking at expulsion. So again, we basically manage one employee, that'd be the superintendent, who manages everybody else in the district, so that's essentially what I see.
I'll just kind of sum this up real quickly. I would say the role of the board is governance and decision making, and the role of administration is really the implementation and nature of that.
All right. Another community question. Many people who serve as a board member are also parents/family of students who attend Alburnett. How would you separate yourself as an elected official and a parent if you have a child in the district?
I think it's something funny, maybe because I have one of my children is here. As adults, I think we have to separate ourselves just about every day in certain situations. Where I work, I'm a manager of engineers. Personally, there's many of them that I'm friends with. Professionally, though, as a manager, I have to keep things moving. There are times where I have to give feedback to someone who is my friend, but as a professional, we need to keep things moving along. So I need you to act this way, or I need this deadline met. So separating myself from kind of a professional environment to a personal environment is something I already do in my career. So I don't feel that's something that I would need too far. Partly also because wanting to serve is something that I know there will be times that I may make decisions that my children aren't going to like. But as a parent, you can see further down the road for them, and you're making a decision to invest in this for them. So sometimes those decisions should just be made out of love, and you make decisions every day as a parent.
I don't have any kids here, so I don't know if you want me to try to make a connection.
As a parent, knowing that you are a parent, does that in any way affect your school board?
Yeah, so as a parent, that affects me in the school board. I've learned a lot. My wife and I raising a couple of kids. We have more to learn from our children than we have to teach them. And I've learned a lot. I'd like to get that back. And really, and it's a funny thing being a parent, is you learn all this stuff and they grow up, and just about the time you get it figured out a little bit, they're all grown up and gone. It's like, man, just got that figured out, and now you're done. So it's a nice opportunity to not quite be done, and be able to get that back a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so the question was, many people who serve as a board member are also parents or family of students who attend Alburnett. How would you separate yourself as an elected official and a parent if you have a child in the district?
Having been there is really not as hard as some might think it is. I think anybody who comes to the board who has children or grandchildren in the district gives that pretty serious thought. Not just about how our kids behave or what to expect of them, but how some decisions we make will impact them. I didn't serve on the board with anyone who hadn't said to their kids the same rules like you would apply to everyone else. You get in trouble, you pay the consequences, just like everybody else. I think that's one of the benefits going back to strengths of the community I would say that's pretty standard operating procedure. I think that also goes back to maturity, and I was talking about maturity, to make sound decisions earlier, so that's not a concern that I had with any other board member when I served.
I think it's simple as understanding which role it is. So, as a school board member, if you know what your role is, where you're in that chain of problem solving. I know that was a newsletter within the last year, maybe two. If you have this issue, you see this person. If you see this issue, you see that person. So that's understanding the role. If you've ever been a coach's son, which I have, and my boys, unfortunately, are as well. Sometimes you're also a higher standard. You're expected to set the example. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about that. My two boys, but again, just understanding the roles as a board member and directing people to the right place when they do have some issues or something they're looking to get control.
Yeah, not a lot different to say. I think in your role, knowing what hat you're wearing at that moment in time, and but we're all here doing this for the kids and for the students, and we want to continue with the wonderful path we're on. So I think just knowing that okay, now I'm a board member, not necessarily a parent right now. And just being able to know which role you're playing at which time.
Basically, just to reiterate what they said, but we all wear different hats: mom, wife, school board member. But when if I were to be elected, I would make that decision with my school board hat. When I walk into a board meeting, it would. Any decision made, yes, you're going to have different things that affect your life experiences, and have given you the wisdom over the years, but you are making that decision with the school board member hat, and we just take that very seriously and make sure that it's a decision that is for all the students and for the entire district, not just for a certain group of people or that type of thing. So I just think that it's really important that we can call opinions and different viewpoints into consideration when we make those decisions.
All right, so due to time, we are only going to have one last question, and this is going to be a fun one for you guys, so you can relax a little bit. I would just like to thank on behalf of NHS all of our board candidates for coming out tonight and being willing to answer all these questions, and I want to thank all of you guys for being able to be here tonight, so thank you very much. The last question we're going to ask is, what is your dream vacation and why?
They've changed over the years. So if I was to combine them, I guess we would be dirt bike racing, pulling a snow skier on the sand on the beach. That'd be my dream.
I really wasn't expecting a question like that. I think I'd say I still see the Northern Lights because that's the best place in the world to see them.
Is there a limit to how long this vacation can be? I'd like to go back to Europe, I was a military brat. I was born in Italy. I know I don't look Italian, and that's okay. But the culture, the different people, customs, I think that would
My communication would be fully funded by someone else. It would be a month long, and it would be with my family, my closest friends on the beach near the ocean.
It wasn't until recently that I really understood what education was. We have 5 kids, and when they were little, it's just like taking a trip and be parenting in different roles, basically. And a few years ago, we took a trip, and like, oh, I get it. Like, this is why people do this. And so now I would just say, just going somewhere warm with my family would be perfect for me.
I've been fortunate to actually travel a lot in my life for various reasons, whether it's work or just my parents being in the military. So I learned the world is a lot smaller than we really think it is. So my communication is actually more about time. I have 4 sons, 2 are adults, 2 are still in the school system. So I would love to go somewhere in remote wilderness with him and my wife, where there's no cell reception. So we all have to just be with each other and talk.
All right, I'm going to invite Tiffany Grayson up here for our closing comments. And then I invite all of you for food and cookies just outside, main line at CCLA.
All right, guys, let's give a round of applause to the NHS members. All of you, and it can't be easy sitting up here being on the spot, so thank you for running, and thank you for joining us tonight. I will say, as much as the big turnout with a smile on my face, it won't really matter if we don't show up and vote on November 7th. So I'm not sure if you heard, but the last couple of elections, the turnout was pretty dismal. I think it was something like 9 and 15%. You guys, that's like the candidates' grandmother's book club coming and deciding what happens in the school. So we can change that. We can make a goal. Let's say like 50%. I'm shooting for the stars, so let's be optimistic. Wait. Oh, this just in. So our new superintendent, said that if we have a record turnout, he is going to shake his head. So thanks so much for that. You have to record. But anyway, regardless of whether it's school district or not, tell your friends, tell your neighbors' friends, tell your dogs, cousins, uncles, co-workers, friends to show up and vote on November 7th, because if you actually care about the school and the community, you'll make that a priority and put it on your calendar. So thanks for coming. Make sure you have cookie and refreshments,